with the NBA, they came out with new guidelines on to win MVP or be considered for an all NBA based team when you have to play a minimum of 65 games. Obviously, with him, he's been playing like the mother MVP, and it's a foregone conclusion. He's not going to be the MVP or not going to make all NBA teams right now as well, too. And obviously, with his injury, it's something where it's like it's kind of out. I know he's injury prone, but like that definitely could have been prevented too by Jonathan Kuminga when he injured him as well. So I guess my question to you is: do you think that the criteria should change for all NBA with 65 games? Are they being too lenient, too harsh? Or if they do keep it, is it something where you kind of put stipulations into it with the type of injury and how you kind of suffer that injury?
I think this is when you start to, if you were to start to get stipulations like that, that end up would just be a rabbit hole.
Yeah.
But I think it should be a differentiation between like the major awards and All NBA.
Okay.
I think he should still be able to make an All NBA team. I do agree with him not being able to win like the MVP, DPOY, like the big major awards.
Yeah.
But I think it's gonna look, because those awards are just one person wins them, right?
Yeah.
But I think it's gonna look weird when we get to the end of the year, because I don't think he's gonna make this game threshold. And say he plays 64 games and he's not on, and he's averaging 35 and 10 and he's not on any All NBA team.
Crazy.
That's gonna look stupid.
Mm-hmm.
And that's I feel like that's already gonna be what it is. So yeah, I do think there needs to be a little bit of adjusting, but at the same time, it's one of those things. It's the first year they're doing it, you know.
Yeah.
So it's like you have to have a transition period, try and figure things out, see how it happens. But I do hope that they make some type of adjustment for the All NBA teams.
Yeah. Nah, they definitely need to make an adjustment. And I'm thinking too, it's like, damn, it's crazy. Like, it's 65 games. Like, you're training your body. You're a professional athlete. You're training your body to withstand this grind for X amount of months, and you can't get that many games. That, and I'm also thinking too, is like, some people going, like you said, going to get 63, 64 games in or whatever. And their stats are going to look crazy. They're probably going to have a relatively good spot as far as like team success. But now you're going to have other players who are basically going to take their spots and be getting overpaid, which is going to be a problem too. And I know these owners not going to want to overpay these people who shouldn't deserve to be on these All NBA teams too.
I think, like, I definitely agree overall with that, but I think that with the level of talent right now in the NBA, there's usually so many snubs that, like, I think it'll still be high quality. I think the people making the All NBA teams will still be high quality players. You know, I don't think it's going to be, you know, the average person or something like that. Derek White, who for some reason they want him to be an All-Star. I don't even think he should be All NBA. All defensive, cool, but
that's Terrence's favorite player, Derek White.
Really?
Yeah. So.
He's a good player. I think sometimes the problem happens when people put narratives around players and then it's like they're supposed to be more than what they are.
Mm.
But like for who he is, which is like their glue guy, he's more than a glue guy, but he is their glue guy and also someone who can give you 16 points a night, play great defense, do everything on the court basically outside of guard like a center because he's like 6'4" or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, no, I think overall with this thing, like, I think the narrative would also be so different. Like, that's one of the reasons why I don't agree with changing it completely, is because we just happen to be in a time right now where one of the best players in the league is injury prone. But like, take out Embiid, who else are we really worried about with this
season?
Yeah,
nobody.
You know, so I also think we can't just change it for one guy. Like, that's just
like
part
how
of
they changed the overtime rule for Josh Allen.
Exactly. Yeah. Like, I think it's just like part of the game, and we've dealt with so much of like the, you know, load managing and other things like that.
Yeah.
That it's just like trying to get overall everyone to take this stuff more seriously and play when you can, and also factor in, okay, if I can really play tonight, I should do that because I might really get injured later on in the season and actually have to miss these games, you know?
Yeah.
So I think it adds something that is, at least for right now in the league, kind of necessary. Hopefully we'll get to a point where players just kind of always want to play when they can. I'm not advocating for playing when you're injured and, you know, they all know their bodies, but Yeah, just like the random rest nights and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Especially when, in the end of the day, like the research doesn't support that all these rest nights are necessarily providing less injuries.
Mm-hmm.
So
I feel like, do you feel like this year in the NBA in general, like obviously, Embiid's been injured and then, Kyrie's been out for quite some time, both injury prone based players, obviously. Then you got players like PG and Kawhi who've been relatively pretty healthy when they've, been known to miss games. Do you feel like this year in the NBA, as far as a whole, so including the superstars, the stars, the role players, I feel like it's been a relatively pretty healthy season, right? Would you say?
yeah, I think a lot of the players getting injured have been more role players.
Mm-hmm.
There's not a lot of you're saying, like Kawhi and Joel are probably the only two stars right now that were up for those awards that are like ineligible.
Mm-hmm.
I can't think of, maybe
You
I don't
saying
think
eligible?
Ineligible. Kyrie already is. Kyrie already is, and Joel's about to be.
Yeah, Joel. Yeah.
Maybe I can't remember how many games Devin Booker missed at the beginning of the season. I think he might be close, but other than that,
80 might. My 80 came back yesterday.
80 hasn't missed that much this year, though.
Terrence, how many games your boy 80 missed?
This year?
Yeah.
Can't be more than like 5 or 7.
Yeah, he's been playing a lot.
I was gonna bet him, but I was like, nah.
No, I mean that's a whole nother thing. But like, AD